Let's get the sand out. Oh, my God, the Blue Bloods. But I'm going to go positive. Tobin Anderson and Fairleigh Dickinson, congratulations. Not only were you great, you made history, 1 seed over a 16, but you were fun. And Tobin Anderson, we're going to try to get him on the show as the week progresses, but he was fun. Eric Musselman, Arkansas, rips off his shirt. He was fun. We had some fun here. Dusty May, who's going to join the show this week at Florida Atlantic University. Fun. His team can ball. Hey, Memphis, not so much fun. Penny Hardaway reverted back to his AAU roots, throwing a water bottle. That's not fun. Mitch Anderson of Princeton. I recruited Mitch Anderson a little bit. I went to Culver Academy way back in my recruiting days at Indiana. Somebody told me about a kid. Mitch Anderson. All right. I went and took a look at him. I thought he was good. I didn't think he was good enough to help us at Indiana. Mitch Anderson goes to Princeton. Mitch Henderson becomes a really good player at Princeton. Mitch Henderson ends up, ladies and gentlemen, being the coach of Princeton, who gets him somewhere that Petey Carell, the legendary coach of Princeton, could not. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is into the Sweet 16. See, the deep state is listening to us. Siri is popping up. I don't want you, Siri. Go away.
Still working.
No, stop. Go away. Get out of here. I have no idea why she's doing that. The deep state is here on our show. That means we have made it. Indiana fans, I got 2 words for you. My backside. Just a little whiny, whining, quitting little group. Yeah, what a great year we had, really. You came in like 3rd in a bad league, and it is a bad league. Who's left in the Big Ten? Who's left? Michigan State. Shocker. What a stunner. Michigan State. Why? Because they play fast, real toughness, a coach that knows his way around it, and a coach that holds him accountable. Did you see this guy Miller cop for Indiana? Did you see this? See, I'm going to get into this. But first, I got to talk about the Blue Bloods that are gone, all right? Indiana, gone. Memphis, gone. Duke, gone. UVA, gone. Kentucky, gone. Purdue, gone. Kansas, gone. See, Indiana is so crappy and has been for so many years that Dylan didn't even put them on here. That's right. And I don't blame him. Think about if you're, I don't know, my daughter's age, 28, 27, 27, whatever the hell. She doesn't know Indiana being good. She has no idea that Indiana was once good. And if you watched Indiana play yesterday, you know what you saw? You saw just another team. You know what you saw at Kentucky? Just another team. Duke, at least, you could see talent there. Kentucky, I'm telling you, Kentucky and Indiana, bah. Arizona quitting. We talked about that. KU, a little bit of a tough spot. Arkansas had dudes. Arkansas, with Ricky Council, the Force, and Nick Smith, had dudes. But let me talk about 2 teams in particular. Number 1 is Purdue. I said this in a video over the weekend. Shut the hell up. Purdue Boilermaker fans, just shut up about, well, Matt Painter sucks, man. We can't win. No, he's going to get you to a Final Four. Just relax. He's been there a long time. He hasn't got you to a Final Four. But if you keep being excellent during the regular season, eventually it breaks through. I know you haven't been since 1980. I was at the game. Joe Barry Carroll, Drake Morris, that Hillman guy, Arnett Hillman, whatever the hell his name was. The Walker brothers. I know the team. I was there. I played against you when you probably should have gone to a Final Four, maybe 84, 85. You won the Big Ten, but you weren't good enough. It's incredible to me what's happened to Kentucky. It's astounding to me. I said last year on this show, Kentucky is losing relevance, and it is. Look, Kentucky has a great and loyal fan base, the Blue Mist. The Blue Mist comes into Nashville for the SEC tournament. Oh, it's the Blue Mist. The Blue Mist goes to Greensboro, and we'll talk to Trey Wallace coming up here in about 10 minutes. Oh, the Blue Mist is here. They got a great fan base, stupid great. But, ladies and gentlemen, they are falling into irrelevancy. Here's the deal. Indiana, I agree with you. Indiana is irrelevant. It is. I mean, Indiana, it's great when they're good, but they're irrelevant, and Kentucky's slowly falling there. True story. When you watch Kentucky, you say, all right, is this interesting? Is this must-watch TV? Kentucky's playing. We got to what? I don't see it. I honestly don't see it. And Cal can yell and he can scream and he can do all these things. He can. But the truth of the matter is Kentucky is falling to where Indiana is, and that's being totally irrelevant. Fun when they have a big crowd and win a game. There's occasional glimpses. Indiana beat Purdue. Kentucky went to Tennessee and won. There's occasional glimpses. But when you watch Kentucky, you just don't see it. When you watch Indiana, you just don't see it. You can't say the same about Duke. You can't. You can't say the same thing about Kansas. I mean, Kansas won a national championship last year, for crying out loud. Memphis is an AAU program on steroids. It is. I mean, let's be honest. Your coach fires a water bottle. I'm all for it. I would have done it. I don't care. But the world has changed. This is not 2001 where Rick Majerus, I think it was Majerus, went down to the end of the bench and punched the water cooler in Maui. I did the same thing against Toledo, not thinking of Coach Majerus, probably in the back of my mind, and the AD at Toledo got all hot in the crotch. He did. He got all hot in the crotch. I don't get hot in the crotch. I'm doing the Majerus. Leave me alone. Some people got wet. This day and age, they might sue, maybe say I sexually assaulted them with a water cooler. I don't know. But the truth of the matter is irrelevant, and we cannot have it. We can't. Virginia hadn't won a basketball game in the NCAA tournament except when they won a national championship in 19. I've told you this before, and I'll tell you this again. If you're going to score in the 50s, low 60s, anybody can beat you. Anybody can. Period. If you're going to score in the 50s, Dylan, me, Ryan, Aaron, Gary, Davey, and we might have to have a sub, so we're going to bring in Haley. We can score in the 50s. I mean, anybody can get to the 50s. And if anybody can get to what you're scoring, then guess what? You can lose to anybody. And Virginia did it again. They did. They did it again. Look, 70s, 80s, no chance lesser teams can get there unless you just say, screw it, I'm not playing. I'm not playing. I don't care to play. Alabama, really good. I can't wait to talk to Trey Wallace coming up here in a little bit about this whole scene down there in SEC world because Alabama, to me, and it really wasn't close, best team I've seen by far. Now, can they get beat? Of course they can get beat. You know, Gonzaga looked pretty good to me. Drew Timmy's 107 years old, and did you know Drew Timmy actually has another year, the kid from Gonzaga, if he wants to come back? Did you know this? My mind was blown. Purdue. Here's the deal. I talked about the fans wanting Painter out. But the deal is simply this. You can blame Painter. Go ahead. Blame him. It's easy to blame the coach. That's what we want to do. Well, you make adjustments, man. Let me tell you what happened in the Purdue game. Anybody other than Zach Edey, every other guy, all these great players, 12 of 42. 12 of 42. I'm going to say that again, 12 of 42. Take out Edey, 12 of 42. Now, when I watch a game, I say to myself, all right, what's going on here? Is a team just not running decent offense? No, Purdue was. They got wide open looks. So what's going on? Well, I'll tell you what's going on. They're missing shots. Now, you can put that on the coach if you'd like. And I got all kind of idiots say, well, man, you just want to get Painter on your show. Have I ever had Painter on this show? Have I ever? No. I don't care if anybody comes on this show. I can do 2 hours standing on my freaking flat head. But the truth of the matter is, this wasn't on the coach. Truth of the matter is, in the tournament, you have to make shots. I tell people this all the time. I have a national championship ring somewhere. I don't even know where, to tell you the truth. It might be upstairs. It might be in a safe deposit box. I'm going to look maybe this week. Maybe I'll wear it. I got a national championship ring because Keith Smart hit a fadeaway jump shot, falling to his left because Bob Knight crapped the bed and didn't want to call timeout because if he called timeout, you all don't believe this, but this is so true. If Knight called timeout, then if the play didn't work, he would feel responsible. So he, chicken blank Bob Knight, let the players play. We teach execution. Yeah, really? You taught a fadeaway jump shot in the left side falling out of bounds when you had the best shooter in America and the best post player, but that's the shot. So no, I got a national championship ring because Keith Smart made that shot. Jim Boeheim has one national championship, not two, one. he would have had the same amount as Bob Knight. 2, if Keith Smart missed that shot and they got the rebound. You know what I'm saying? Ever since then, I have said make or miss determines NCAA or conference tournament success. I don't go to the NCAA tournament at Bowling Green in 2000 for the first time since 1968 because a kid named Jason Grunkenmeyer hit a 3 from way out after we had played great defense. Make or miss, 12 of 42, and you are going to lose. Period. Against a team. Now, here's the other deal. I tell you this all the time. Now listen up, kids. I tell you this all the time. Teams can get hot defensively. And if you watch the last 5 minutes of the Purdue game, I think there was 4 guard-to-guard block shots. 4 of them. Guard drives, his defender, whack, ball out of bounds. 4. You know what that means? That means the Fairleigh Dickinson guards had him. They had the Purdue guards. They knew you're not doing nothing. And you know what the Purdue guards knew? They got us. And they were a little bit shook. They're freshmen. They'll learn. But freshmen you can win with usually against a 16 seed with a 7'4" guy against the smallest team in the country. I know a lot of you guys are here. Look at that. Yeah, I would argue that is the biggest upset. It's Furman. Holy cow. We talked about it on Friday. Arizona crapped the bed. Purdue crapped the bed. It's the same. Look at the scores. 58 for Purdue. 55 for Arizona. UVA got into the 60s. Yay, Rock, go fight, win. I'm telling you, you got to get to the 70s, 80s. Nobody listens to me. Speaking of nobody listening to me, let's talk about Indiana. Yesterday, I'm watching Indiana. And look, I think Indiana and Mike Woodson are fine. They're fine. It's just fine. Woody really did a good job of turning things around. He beat Purdue, so everybody's going to jump up and down, stand on their head, and crap snowballs. It's great. It's great. But they quit. And this is why I want to talk about Indiana. We have a lot of Indiana folks that follow us. They quit. Q-U-I-T. Quit. Like dogs. And I don't even know what that means. Like people always say that. They quit like dogs. What does that mean exactly? Like, it quit like dogs. Huh. My dog don't quit. I take my dog for a walk on the golf course. She's going 100 miles an hour. End of the game. See, here's the deal. The Big Ten. Let me go Big Ten first. Horrific. Horrific. Thick ankle league. Slow. Unathletic. Grinding. Plotting. And in Indiana's case, quitting. Trace Jackson Davis always tells us, he's a philosopher, you know. It's more than just basketball. Really, what is it? Nobody's going to pay attention to any of you clowns for anything other than basketball. I mean, maybe when you get in the NBA, maybe at Center Grove High School when you, run a basketball camp, Miller Cop. It's more than basketball. I got Miller Camp. Let me read to you. Indiana people, listen up. Jennifer, I know you got to get the SAT out. See, people think it's just me that rips Indiana. No, God, no. It is not. I am the conduit. I am the one that says what every other Indiana player wants to say, but I'm the conduit. So the other day, I'm minding my own business. I'm not doing for nothing. You know what I'm saying? I'm chilling. I'm having a bunch of A&W root beers. I'm watching the game. I got a sack full of Jay's potato chips. I'm feeding my face, and then all of a sudden, the Indiana game comes on. And then all of a sudden, my phone starts dinging. Ding, huh. Ding, huh. Ding. Hey, Marie Osmond, what are you doing? Hey, come on. Ding. Got about 10 different former players all saying the same thing. So I looked at it, and I said, hey, I'll take the best and I'll read it. So this is a legendary Indiana basketball player. I cannot believe that idiot cop is wearing a headband. The fact that you never wore one in your whole effing career and you have one on in the NCAA tournament is embarrassing. I'm also embarrassed for the coaches that they didn't walk in and tell them to take that effing S off because you've never worn it. You don't change anything when you get in the tournament. Sorry, can't stand Miller Kopp. Now, that is the best summation, and here's my phone that I'm reading from. That's the best summation from a former player. The dude and these dudes are all about their little NIL. And it's not Indiana. I don't care if you do that at Northwestern. Look, here's the deal. I'm going to go teach a class. I'm going to go down, I'm going to call up somebody, and I'm going to say, look, Kansas teaches a class on Indiana basketball. Or excuse me, on Kansas basketball. Why would they care about Indiana basketball? I have no idea. But anyway, so Kansas makes its players go to a class on Kansas basketball. I am going to tell Scott Dolson, because Woodson's so out of it. Woodson's into his own world. He don't even know where he is. Like Woody hasn't been around Indiana basketball for 40 years, and he's come back. He's taking a lot of money. His buddy Quinn Buckner got him the job. They're doing fine. They got the 2 tournaments. I'm all in on them. But these players need to understand you don't act that way at Indiana. You just don't act that way at Indiana. You don't all of a show up with a headband because you feel like, well, it's going to help people notice me. You know how people notice you? By playing well and winning. That's how people notice you. But some clown that went to Northwestern, where now Northwestern's good. Did you think Northwestern missed Miller Kopp at all? Has Northwestern even begun to miss Miller Kopp? They played ahead of Indiana all year. They beat Indiana. And this clown is putting a headband on. Now, this is old Grumpy. But it's time for Indiana. They got the right guy to coach because he's going to be able to recruit. They got the right things going on in their program. Now, guys have to understand, this is Indiana, not Cincinnati. Hey, thanks for watching Don't At Me with me, Dan Dockich. Make sure to like, subscribe, or click the notification bell for more of my beautiful face. Check out my full show to my right, or watch this other video. See ya.